Hello everyone, our topic is what are China's foreign policy goals and its relations with Africa? To what extent is China succeeding in achieving those goals? Part 1 Introduction, Background, and History. First, brief introduction of Africa. Africa is second largest continent, covering about one-fifth of the total land surface of Earth. The continent is bounded on the west by the Atlantic Ocean, on the north by the Mediterranean Sea, on the east by the Red Sea and Indian Ocean. With 1.3 billion people as of 2018, it accounts for about 60% of the world's human. Because of the population advantage, Africa has the potential to be one of the world's largest consumer markets. Third, Africa contains an enormous wealth of mineral resources, and Africa is experiencing fast economic growth but still vulnerable. Africa's GDP growth is marginally above the world average for 2018 and well above the average of advanced economies. It also exceeds that of emerging and developing economies outside Africa, excluding China and India. According to the IMF's 2020 outlook, released in October, GDP was predicted to fall by minus 1.3% in North Africa and by minus 3.3% in sub-Saharan Africa. And fifth, the contribution to Africa's growth is due to a few regions and countries. And Africa's growth performance is not equitable and exclusive. Extreme poverty and inequity are higher in Africa than in other world regions. 1.2 The history of Sino-African relations. The Bandung Conference of 1950 marked the beginning of a Chinese interest and policy in Africa. During 1966 to 1979, the Cultural Revolution changed the direction of China's foreign policy towards Africa. And in 1971, the People's Republic of China gained a seat in UN. Actually, Africa played a vital role in the process of China's being offered a UN seat. During 1966 to 1979, Premier Zhou Enlai outlined 8 principles for China's economic aid and technical assistance to other countries. Over more than 5 decades later, it still remain unchanged and have underwritten China's competitive advantage over the United States in developing countries. And starting in the 1980s and the economic reforms under Deng Xiaoping's leadership, China scaled down its international ambitions and shifted its foreign policy to focus on greater power diplomacy.
In this part, I will discuss China's foreign policy goals in Africa, China's modern initiatives and interests in Africa. And this part contains these 4 topics: Africa in China's foreign policy, Africa in China's foreign strategy, China's modern initiatives in Africa, and the conclusion, China's foreign policy goals and interests in Africa. So for the first topic, during the President Hu's administration, China began to adopt the principle of an all-round, all-directional foreign policy that theoretically does not differentiate among geographical regions or countries. Chinese foreign policy is not about relationship with a particular region or country. China emphasizes balanced diplomacy and seeks to develop ties with all important powers in the world. So for China, big powers are the key. China's periphery is a priority. Developing countries are the foundation. Multilateral platforms are the stage. Compared with China's neighbors and big powers, the category of developing countries to which African nations belong constitutes the foundation of China's foreign policy. a means rather than an end to China's relationship with more important parts of the world. Africa is a low priority issue for China's foreign policy in general and belongs to the category of developing countries. Its importance is mostly as a means to China's political and economic ends. Africa in general is excluded from the strategically important category and does not reach the highest level of decision making. Within Africa, different countries also carry different weight in China's Africa policy. Generally speaking, two types of African countries are more likely to receive a higher level of attention in China's policymaking. First, regional leaders, such as South Africa and Kenya, are given more emphasis because of their regional or international political and economic influence. As a fellow BRICS country, South Africa is seen by China as a strong emerging power partner with great potential for collaboration bilaterally and against the traditional Western powers. Second, problematic countries such as Sudan and Zimbabwe require more attention, not only because China has large vested economic interests in their national resources, but also because their volatile internal politics often raise international concern and spark criticism that China is propping up these authoritarian regimes through economic deals and international political support. As for China's modern initiatives in Africa, in March 2013, President Xi put forward the concept of the right approach to justice and interests during his visit to Africa, which was established as the governing principle after the 18th National Congress of the CCP, aiming to develop China-Africa friendship and cooperative relationships more efficiently. In April 2013, President Xi Jinping first put forward the concept of community of shared future. And then in December 2015, the Chinese government released China's policy paper on Africa, emphasizing the community of shared future between China and Africa. Then twice in 2015 and 2018, Xi points out that China's goals to Africa are sincere friendship and equality, mutual benefit and common prosperity, mutual support and close cooperation, learn from each other and seek common development. China hopes to establish the comprehensive strategic partnership with Africa. In July 2018, Xi delivered a speech at the 10th BRICS Summit, calling for deepening people to people exchanges and cooperation and building a network of close cooperative relations. The meeting decided to launch the BRICS New Industrial Revolution Partnership. And about the One Belt One Road, in September 2016, Lin Songtian pointed out that Africa is an important direction and foothold for the One Belt One Road. In May 2017, the official document released by BBS at the summit of One Belt One Road International Cooperation clearly states that Africa is a key partner to build One Belt One Road. And in September 2018, China and Africa agreed to align the One Belt One Road with the UN 2030 Agenda and the African Union 2063 Agenda. So China needs Africa's support for the CCP's domestic political legitimacy and for China's foreign policy agenda internationally. And Africa also means rich natural resources and potential market for China. As for the security interest, China also needs to protect Chinese investment and personnel in Africa. So just like President Xi pointed out that China's foreign policy goals in Africa is to establish the comprehensive strategic partnership with Africa. However, the relationship between China and Africa is a way for China to build its prestige in the world, and it is a means rather than an end for China.
Part 3 is what has been achieved now. There are 5 parts. First is infrastructure connectivity and trade enhancement, cultural exchange, military cooperation, and the public health. The first one is infrastructure connectivity. Infrastructure projects are characterized by high cost, long time, and high technical requirements. China has abundant funds and relative perfect infrastructure capacity, so construction in African countries, on the one hand, can effectively improve the problem of China's export simplification. On the other hand, resources restructuring can be carried out in the world to solve the problem of excess capacity and also promote RMB internationalism and improve China's international image. In recent years, China has built a large number of roads, railways, bridges, airports, schools, hospitals, and so on in African countries. These projects have helped Africa advance their new industrialism and economic growth. Among them, the successful construction of railway project plays a positive role in reducing the pressure of the local transportation, improving the environment, and increasing employment. Infrastructure construction are significant to not only the economic development of African countries, but also the promotion of one